Hi, I'm Pete Tomlin. I'm the South Yorkshire Nature Networks Manager for Sheffield Rotherham Wildlife Trust. Thanks to funding from the Green Recovery Challenge Fund, throughout the last year our South Yorkshire Nature Networks project has been working hard to deliver habitat improvements on our nature reserves and help to build capacity and resilience for the climate crisis. At Centenary Riverside Nature Reserve, we've been working to improve the lagoon and pond on site and helping to increase the flood capacity of the nature reserve.
Hello, welcome to Centenary Riverside Nature Reserve. My name is Robert Miller and I'm the Nature Recovery Manager for Sheffield and Rotherham Wildlife Trust. We have contractors on site today carrying out some lagoon restoration works. We're basically trying to desilt the lagoon. The site was created back in 2009 as part of a flood alleviation scheme, and the site is designed to flood, and it does so on a regular basis. When it floods, we get lots of silt deposited, and that builds up over time. Over the last 5 to 10 years, it's built up significantly, and we've lost the open water habitat from large parts of the site. So this work is aimed at removing that silt, moving it to a different part of the site and trying to restore some open water habitat, which should be very beneficial to wildlife. The other aspect of work that the contractors have been completing for us has been some pond restoration works. This pond hasn't been holding water for the last 6 months or so. There's been a number of holes that have punctured the liner, and these have been mended as part of this work. And to try and protect the liner in the future, we've covered it with 4 to 6 inches of soil. This will also act as a growing medium. We'll hopefully be able to get more marginal vegetation growth back around the pond, providing better habitat, and it will also hold water again. So we're now waiting for some rainfall to hopefully get it topped up, and come the spring we'll also do some grass seeding, some wildflower seeding around the edges to finish the work off. And yeah, we should have some good pond habitat back again.
Our land management team have also carried out woodland management and grassland restoration on the nature reserve.
So I'm Joe Stewart. I work for Sheffield Rotherham Wildlife Trust as a land management team officer. Today we are felling some scallops in the woodland edge, which effectively increases the size of the woodland edge, which is great for warblers and all kinds of different species of nesting bird and invertebrates with all that fresh growth coming up. The site is an old industrial site which has now been repurposed as a natural flood management site, so it takes a lot of the water when the river dons up in flood. It also provides an excellent oasis and haven for wildlife in the local area of Rotherham. So, what's fantastic about the site is that people can come from just the nearby town of Rotherham and come on their lunchtime walk and soak in a bit of nature. And yeah, we see a lot of people doing that actually. We always have a chat with people about why they're here, and very often it's a great lunchtime spot. So we've cut down the meadow and reseeded it to get some more native species in there. So the seed mix was about 25 to 30 native species, mainly for the benefit of butterflies. And then also here, more specifically for the small copper, we've put sheep sorrel in. So we've done little patches of just that because it's their favourite food.
At Greno Woods Nature Reserve, our land management team have installed a series of leaky dams and other natural flood management features, helping to slow the flow of the water into the Blackburn Brook catchment.
So my name is Chris Dorr and I'm the Nature Recovery Manager for Greno Woods. At the moment we're standing right in the very bottom of Greno by Hallwood Dyke, which is one of the many streams that come out of the bottom of the wood. We're here today because the team are building a series of leaky dams, and those dams are part of our natural flood management programme here at Greno. Greno is quite a big woodland, it's about 180 hectares in size, and it fills one entire hillside. And because it's nice and steep, we don't have a problem with flooding here at Greno. But what happens in times of very high rainfall is the ground becomes sodden, and then after that any extra water runs straight off into the streams. The streams go from being very shallow to getting quite deep, and all that water runs off downhill and to the junction with the Blackburn Brook, and then it goes further downstream to the Don where it starts causing trouble. The idea with natural flood management is you use natural processes to help slow the flow of water across your land and to hold back some of that water to do good things for wildlife. So these dams, they're not conventional dams, they are designed to leak. Most of the year, when the water level is low, the stream just runs straight underneath them. However, in times of storm and flood, when the water level gets higher, the dams go into action. They start holding back water, and each dam can hold back just a little volume of water behind itself, and it increases greatly the stream capacity, doubles or trebles it, and all that flood water then spends longer in the stream bed where it's doing no harm, and is more slowly released to go downstream over a period of many hours rather than just a few. Natural flood management isn't just a benefit from the point of view of flooding, although that is of course important. It's also really good for wildlife. As well as slowing the flow, we can capture some of that water and use it here in sight in a series of ponds to provide a breeding habitat for amphibians such as newts and toads. The leaky dams themselves will create little patches of wetland next to themselves, which are a good habitat for certain species of plants. We have greater bittercress down here, and plants that like moist conditions, like opposite the leaved golden saxifrage, ancient woodland plants, which otherwise don't really get much of a look in.
Yeah, hi, my name's Thomas Dunn. I'm the land management team officer that's been delivering some of these leaky dams here in Greno Woods. So we had 10 days funding from the Green Recovery Fund here in Greno. 7 of the days were in this stream, several days were in some of the other streams around the site, and we've been installing natural flood management works, so leaky dams and also natural felled trees, where we fell the entire tree into the stream with all its brash attached, and that creates flood defences as well. To be more managed leaky dams that are a bit more structural. We've built them all off the stream in series of 3s, so you have a sequence of pools so that they hold back the flood water and gradually release it. Once we've identified a suitable site, which is a nice relatively straight section that's not on a corner, where we've got good banking either side, so there'll be a nice catchment area behind the dam. We'll select a tree from the surrounding woodland, fell that, chop it down into the correct width, move them into position. Once they're stacked up, we then install the stakes to stop any movement and wire those into place. It can be quite a slow process depending on the ground conditions on the day. Once they're installed, they'll do their first winter unaided, and then every spring we'll do a maintenance inspection, so we'll have an annual checkup just to clear any build-up of material, and if any of the dams are starting to collapse or need any extra maintenance, we'll be able to patch them up in the spring when the water level's nice and low. All along this stream in particular, as we come back here to work, we've found pools behind every single dam, lots of debris instantly collecting, which is basically they've done their job, and as far as I'm aware they've all held this winter, so that's good news for the autumn to get a proper check, a proper look at it.
Our partners, Rotherham Council, have used funding from the project to improve habitats at Herringthorpe and Gibbing Woods and Brookfield Park.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome to a very wet tree planting session with the South Yorkshire Fire cadets this morning. As you can see, what we're going to do is we're covering this corner, so the cadets are busy grafting away in the absolute pouring rain, bless them. So in a straight line sort of down to the path at the bottom. So the idea being is that we plant this corner up, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from this corner, this little sort of silver birch copse, we're going to go straight across to the corner over there. Like so, we're going to plant to that corner all the way across to this silver birch, and then just to complete all the planting that we're doing on that corner, I'm going to do this area of grass here, so we're joining sort of the woodland up there. That's Gibbing Wood. We're going to come across, I'm going to join this copse up to that corner. So all this area here in front of me, all bar a little path at the side, should be, when we've completed it hopefully, a bit of an extension of the woodland, if you like. A lot of positive comments we've had from members of the public as well, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave a gap down here, because from the Woodland Trust survey that we've had done on Gibbing and Herringthorpe Woods, they've discovered lots of old boundary hawthorns that must have been the old wood boundary, and you can sort of just make one out in there. The idea being that we're going to thin some of these boundary trees out and hopefully give a little bit of light to the hawthorns. Should be good, so let them come back through. So what we've done is, on this new planting that we're doing this morning, we've left a gap so we don't crowd out the boundary hawthorns that we're going to try and reveal. Plus the fact this sort of gap allows us access with the truck and the trailer if we need to come up here and do maintenance.
All of this was possible thanks to funding from the Green Recovery Challenge Fund, so a massive thank you to our funders.